Good afternoon, class. I will be covering a refresher course on the verbals or verbs, okay? Again, this is a refresher because everyone came back from Thanksgiving vacation, which is a week, and I know a lot of us have been working. I was doing yard work and cleaning the house and whatever y'all were doing. But in this, I will be covering with the FEAPS and CPALM standards to make sure that you all have a good lesson. So, before we begin, I'm going to give out this paperwork, which is the non-linguistic representation. Okay? According to the school standards, we have to give out things to help you refresh and understand what we're teaching. So with this is the 12 forms of verb tenses that you can have. You can pass those ones to the back students. And then we will begin in a little bit. So, verb forms and review of tenses. All right, before we begin, we're going to talk a little bit about what we use verbs for, and I would go into irregular verbs, but we will talk about them in worksheets too much. So verbs are essentially actions. How do you say verbs are actions in Spanish? So verbos de acciones. Acciones. Okay. So that's all they are. They are the part of speech saying what people do. Okay. So right here it says, draw a timeline of your life. List 8 to 10 events on the timeline. Make sure you list your future graduation date. So what this is showing is just how to use, how to describe certain verb tenses. We won't go too much into detail on this. Was born, traveled to Europe. So it's just a timeline of your life. What does this have to do with verb tenses? Well, verb tenses are designed to describe in time and events. I don't know about Spanish, I don't know about Russian, I don't know about Japanese, and how descriptive they are on the time. How do you say time description? Like mucho tiempo? Yeah, tiempo. Yeah. In English, the focus is a lot more on, how you're describing time, and I will go into that in a second. What does it do? Okay, it's showing the different little marker things. Okay. Right here, the 6 English verb tenses. Okay? So you have, I think it's a little more than 6. You got these ones, and then you have perfect tenses. So right here we have the 3 simple tenses, which you have the simple present, the simple past, the simple future. Then you have the simple continuous, where we add ing. So walking, running, walking, running, walking, and running. You will walk. I will run. You walked. I ran. You walk. I run. Okay? And then right here, the 3 perfect tenses. I don't want to go too much into perfect is. We have to use the participle. Present perfect. You have walked. I have run. You had walked. I had run. You will have walked. I will have run. You have been walking. I have been running. You had been walking. I had been running. You will have been walking. I will have been running. Okay? So, the most common ones you'll probably use are the 3 simple tenses and the simple continuouses, these ones. And then when you use these ones, you will use the word had, has, or had. Had, has, had. Okay? Questions?
No.
Had, has, and have. I think I have a shirt. Hang on, let me. You can just keep recording. So right here, the participle, and I'm probably mispronouncing that. I'm sorry. I'm not good with words sometimes. Okay, so you have has, had, and have, which is called the what? Participle tense. So if it's an irregular verb, you use the participle. And it is also called the perfect tense, which is like a modified past. Okay? Any questions? And then you use the verbo de irregularos. Did I say that right?
Irregulares.
The verbos irregulares. I said it close enough. All right. First one we'll talk about is the simple present tense. Simple present tense expresses a habit or often repeated action. Adverbs of frequency such as often, seldom, sometimes, never are used with this tense. So, the verbo describes the action, the adverb describes, or the adverb of frequency describes how much you do the action. So, those sheets that I gave you, if you look on the simple present, it shows an example, which I could zoom it in. It shows an example right here, and it says, I study English, or she studies English. And if you look at it, it's showing as a habit. She sometimes studies English. She never studies English. She often studies English, okay? So when you want to talk about a habit or how much somebody does something, simple present, okay? Questions? Oh, like Mr. Dunn, you're going too fast. Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Oh, never mind. It's right here. She goes to work every day. Is she at work right now? No. But she goes to work. They always eat lunch together. Are they eating lunch right now? No. But what do? They like to eat lunch together. That's what they do. They're describing. Right? And that, there you go. Look at that. What? They're a little. So, if you're saying, this is how much Mr. Dunn goes to the bathroom, right? And then this is right now. So throughout the day, I go to the bathroom a lot, right? Or it could be anything. It could be like she walks every day, or she sings to herself in the shower. All right. All right, right here it says, it also expresses general truths or facts that are timeless. Snow falls in the December in Minnesota. Or snow falls in the December in Minnesota. Water boils at 100 degrees. The sun comes up every day. Are all these true?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Anything that is a general truth is always going to be simple present. We have to breathe to live. Is that simple present? Breathe. We are breathing. We're breathing right now. But to live, you have to breathe. Okay? Questions? All right. I'm a little nervous because the camera's recording. So. All right. Present continuous. This tense is used to describe an action that is occurring right now. Is that right?
This moment today.
So your two most common tenses is simple present, present continuous, which can also be called present progressive, and gerunds, okay? Action has begun and is still in progress. It can be occurring now, but is temporary. She is typing a paper for her class. He can't talk. He is fixing the sink right now. Okay. So, what is the difference between these and simple present? What's the difference? Oh, sleepy.
It's occurring right now. It's like
It's happening right now, but what's the word difference? ING.
I'm typing, fixing.
Continuous means you started then, still going. She is typing a paper for her class. She is calling the Florida Department of Education to see if.
so you put in ing when the action is continuous.
That is correct. You got it.
Mm-hmm.
Or he is fixing. Where it started in the past and it keeps going, okay? But then right here, this is important too, okay? It says you want to add is or are before the verb, and you want to also add ing to the verb. Okay. All right, and then this is kind of a picture. If you look at the worksheet, it's a little different. It doesn't have the X's, but it's the same. It's the same as this is describing. So you have this is the past, this is the future, this is right now, and it started in the past. It's going, and it's still going. It's ing. It's happening. We are listening to Mr. Dunn. Mr. Dunn is talking. Okay? Questions? All right. I'm gonna do the simple past, and then I'm gonna then I'll stop the video so I don't blow up my phone. Simple past. We use the simple past to indicate exactly when an action or event took place in the past. So, what is the difference between the simple past and the present continuous or the past continuous? What's the big difference, class?
I think the past continuous use the ing.
Past continuous is ing. But this is this is a normal verb. A normal verb, you just put ed, and it means the past. Went is an irregular verb for, I can't remember what's, she was going, she went to the store. So I know this is an irregular verb sometimes. So the big difference between the simple past and the past continuous is that the simple past starts in the past and then it does what? It ends in the past. So this is the past, this is right now. Technically this would be kind of like moving forward a little bit like this. And that's the future. And then, how can I say this? So this thing happened and then it ended. Is it still going? No. So if I said Mr. Dunn is talking in class versus Mr. Dunn talked in class, what's the difference? I talked, and now I'm not talking anymore. I talked. Talking is still going. Okay? Talked is I talked, and now no more. Finished.
It's not continuous.
It's not continuing. There you go. All right. So any questions on that? All right. The simple past is used to describe actions and or events that are now completed and no longer true in the present. So right here, I don't know what that means, but I attended MJC in 1998. You add ed to regular verbs, and then you look at the irregular verb forms. So, probably the hardest part of the verb tenses is learning irregular verbs and the participle or perfect tense. If I'm saying that wrong, class, I apologize. Okay, you got participle, perfect tense, which is only for irregular verbs. Okay. But right here it says, I attended MCJ in 1998. I saw a movie every weekend when I was a teenager. But what does it say right here?
I don't see very much anymore.
So in the past, whoever wrote this is saying that they saw a lot of movies. But right now, it's finished, no more. And then right here, they used to go to this school. Does he or she go to that school anymore? No. It's finished. All right. I guess I'll go over this one and then I'm going to stop my video. So, past continuous is often used with the simple past to show one action was in progress while another action occurred. So, past continuous, you say, I was doing this thing in the past, and while I was doing this thing, this other thing happened. I was taking a bath when the doorbell rang. Okay? What tense is that? Simple past. What tense is this?
Present, past continuous.
Past continuous. You got it. Well, saying that, so this thing happened, and the doorbell rang, and this is right now. Okay? And the second one says, they were eating dinner when the neighbors stopped by for a visit. So this is what was happening right here. They were what? They were eating, right? But then, what happened right here?
Neighbors. Stop.
Okay? So that's how you use past continuous. It's the same as like present continuous, but you use it in the past continuous tense and you use it to describe something that happened in the past that's going on right now. So, class, any questions on these so far? All right, so what I want you to do next, so I covered simple present, present continuous, simple past, and past continuous. Okay, so I covered 4 of them. They're kind of confusing. What I want you to do right now is go ahead and look at your worksheets. And does everybody have highlighters? All right, I have some highlighters over here. I want you all to highlight and take your own notes on how to remember these for yourself. So I got highlighters, markers, other things like that. And then just do that, and then we're going to go into the other verb tenses after that. Anyone have any questions for me? Okay. Thank you for my small period of instruction, and we will start to work on the worksheets. Thank you.
That's a Sharpie.